Hello, we're on day 28, and yesterday we talked about auditing your own business. So hopefully you've had time to do that, or you've set some time aside for you for this week. And then today I thought I'd talk about one of the biggest sort of question marks within the business, which is pricing and how to price stuff and profit. So when I started these tips, which was about 12 years ago, which it seems to be, the 1st of July, if you're still here with me, thank you. And I did one early on, which was about pricing and how to find the prices. So we talked about the obvious things, Google Images, Google the pricing, what's it called? The Lens one, Google Lens, sorry. eBay sold prices, possibly from research, going around antique centres, looking online, eBay prices, Etsy prices, taking those with a pinch of salt, making sure you've seen the sold prices and not the asking prices. Auction hammer prices is okay to look at for a general guide if you're adding in all the other options to find the price. But it's be very careful, because you will know as well as I do if we've bid online for something and maybe we haven't had we don't know the condition of it. We may have, how many times have we gone to pick something up and it isn't quite what we thought, and we've paid way over the odds for something. So a little extra tip on that is don't be afraid to ask the auction for a report or a condition report. I'm really struggling to think of the word, condition report, and then you can try and view the auction if you can, but I know sometimes we don't view the auction. So that's a little extra tip on auctions. But go onto the sale room, Easy Live, and have a look. It's really good fun watching the auctions, actually. So, but just with a pinch of salt on those, and Etsy and prices that are online if you see them. Best way to do it, as I said in the tips when we first started, is to get your hands on stuff. So go around the antique centres, see what people are asking. If prices are wildly over what you think they're worth, it may be that person has got it wrong. So don't take what other people are selling them the item for as gospel as to what you have to sell it. And then all of the common sense things. So how much have you bought the item for? How much profit do you want to make, which is going to be really personal to you depending on how much each item costs you to sell. So your time, although as busy people we don't tend to add in our time for doing stuff, but your diesel costs, your listing fees online, your shop rent fees if you've got commission to pay. So adding all of those in, roughly, you might say, well, roughly each item I need to add another 2 times on top of your buying price, or double up, or whatever it might be. As we said the other day, some items you may easily 10 times your buying cost, and other items you might only double up, and then other items you might only earn a couple of pound, £10 out of. So the rule is not generic across all items. Some items will be up and down. Make sure you price with your head and not your heart, because I said about buying stuff you love, and if you're buying things you really love, sometimes your heart can lead you down, or lead the pricing, which is sometimes unrealistic. So be careful on that, and think about what's your goal really. So our goal is to have beautiful things to sell, but the thing about that is you really want to sell them, because we can all buy lovely beautiful things and keep them if we've priced them wrong, but you've got to get the prices right so that you actually sell it, and then you can buy more lovely things. So which is the aim of it. So profit and pricing is just by learning, and potentially if you limit when you're first starting, And this was going to be an extra tip, but I might just go for it now. So if you buy, it was a tip about, and this is why I shouldn't just do this sort of, what's the word, like, you know, off the cuff, because I start going on and, you know, rambling on. But anyway, I should call it Rambles with Sarah. But if you first start and you're not sure of your pricing, just limit yourself to a couple of things that you love. So if you love baking and cooking, start by selling KitchenAlia. If you love books and reading, start by selling books. And if you love art and drawing and painting, start by selling art. If you love pottery or flowers or plants in the house, start by selling stuff that you would have in your house to put plants and flowers in. So by making it really simple for you and starting off really basic, a couple of reasons you would do that is A, you will enjoy what you're selling because it's one of your passions or linked to a passion. And B, you will find research and pricing easier because you like to learn about it. And the things you like, you remember easily. So if you like photography or tech, start by selling cameras and lenses. If you like gaming, start by selling retro gaming. If you like clothing, start by selling vintage clothing. So dead obvious, I know, but that is what I would start off with. And then if you did start off with pottery, you then might add in KitchenAlia or something, another thing that you like that you bring in. So you start by just selling the same thing over and over again, and then your pricing will become dead easy and second nature to you because you love it. So that's a little tip for pricing and what to sell when you very first start, because that's one of the questions that people ask is, what do I start selling? Now, I would avoid saying sell this or that or the other, although I have done a video on what is personally selling for me, what is popular for me. But depending on where you are in the country or the world, it might be totally different. So I would start with selling what you love or what your passion is or your hobbies are, and that kind of thing. That's what I would start with selling. So I would avoid giving advice to you, start by buying and selling this because that's what's selling at the minute, because that's a bit of a trend. It's a bit of maybe a shorter window, and by the time you've started doing it, it's gone and changed. So that's why I would avoid selling trends. I would, and sort of trying to think, because you're always trying to then think ahead to what's coming up next, and then you're just giving yourself more work. So just concentrate on buying what you love, and one of the tips was what you love and what you know, and what you know is your passion or your hobby. So start with that, and then, as I said, add into it and build into it. So that is pricing. Profit, how much do you want to make out of each item, and that may change. When you're buying is when you will make your profit, not when you're selling. So buy at the right price to give you an exit or exit options. So if you have something and you've spent a bit too much on it, or you've bought it at the higher price, you're then limited to how much you can discount it or what price you've got to put on it. And always, if you've bought something and you have spent a little bit more money on it, rather than to try and chase the profit out of it, it's sometimes better to just break even, or potentially, if it's the wrong item, take a hit on it, which we all do, and let it go and use it as a lesson. So obviously we are trying to not do that very often at all, and usually more when you first start. You will make those mistakes, and the most important thing is to just remember it, and if you have to take a hit on something or sell it at not as much profit as you wanted or break even, then just clear it out and just remember the lesson from it. So don't hold on to it too personally. So those are my tips for today for profit and pricing. Hopefully I've answered everything that you might have wanted to know on that. But if I haven't, you can drop a comment and let me know if there's anything I've missed off that you wanted to hear about. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 29. But for now, that's it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.